The Rum Rebellion. The Rum Rebellion, also known as the Rum Mutiny, was a coup d'état that took place in New South Wales, Australia, on January 26, 1808. It was a pivotal event in Australian history, marking the only successful overthrow of a government in the country's history. Background: in the early 19th century, New South Wales was a British penal colony, established in 1788. The colony was governed by a series of autocratic governors, who held significant power and control over the colony's affairs. The governors were responsible for maintaining law and order, collecting taxes, and regulating trade. One of the most influential governors was William Bligh, who served from 1806 to 1808. Yes, that's right, Mr Christion, that Captain Bligh. Bligh was a naval officer and a veteran of the Napoleonic Wars. He was known for his strict discipline and authoritarian style, which earned him many enemies among the colonists. The rum trade. Rum was a highly valued commodity in the early Australian colony. It was used as a form of currency, and the rum trade was a lucrative business. However, the rum trade was also a source of corruption and abuse of power. Governors and officials would often use their positions to control the rum trade, enriching themselves and their allies at the expense of others. The Rebellion. In 1807, Governor Bligh attempted to crack down on the rum trade, which he saw as a threat to the colony's stability and morality. He arrested several prominent merchants and traders, including John MacArthur, a wealthy and influential landowner. MacArthur was a key figure in the rum trade and had significant influence over the colony's politics. On January 26, 1808, a group of about 400 soldiers, led by Major George Johnston, marched on Government House in Sydney, where Bligh was residing. The soldiers, who were largely sympathetic to MacArthur and the rum traders, demanded that Bligh release MacArthur and abandon his attempts to regulate the rum trade. Bligh, realizing he was outnumbered and outgunned, reluctantly agreed to the demands. He was arrested and placed under house arrest, marking the beginning of the Rum Rebellion. Aftermath. The Rum Rebellion lasted for several months, during which time the colonists, led by MacArthur and Johnston, governed the colony. However, the British government eventually sent a new governor, Lachlan Macquarie, to restore order and authority. Macquarie arrived in 1810 and quickly established a new government, which included many of the rebels. MacArthur and Johnston were eventually tried and convicted for their roles in the rebellion, but they were later pardoned and allowed to return to their lives. Legacy. The Rum Rebellion had significant consequences for Australian history. It marked a turning point in the colony's development, as the British government began to take a more active role in governing the colony. The rebellion also led to the establishment of a more formal system of government, with a greater emphasis on representative democracy. Today, the Rum Rebellion is remembered as a key event in Australian history, symbolising the colonists' desire for self-governance and their resistance to authoritarian rule. The rum issue was more of a catalyst for the rebellion rather than its primary cause. Bligh's real motives. Governor William Bligh's main objective was to consolidate power and control over the colony. He wanted to eliminate the influence of the wealthy landowners and merchants, who he saw as a threat to his authority. Bligh believed that by controlling the rum trade, he could weaken the power of these elites and establish a more centralized government. The rum trade as a pretext. Bligh used the rum trade as a pretext to attack his enemies and consolidate power. He accused John MacArthur and other prominent merchants of smuggling and profiteering, and used this as an excuse to arrest him and seize their assets. However, many historians believe that Bligh's accusations were exaggerated or even fabricated, and that his real goal was to eliminate his political opponents. Bligh's conflict with MacArthur. John MacArthur was a powerful and influential figure in the colony, and Bligh saw him as a major obstacle to his plans. MacArthur was a successful businessman, landowner, and politician who had built a vast fortune through his trading and farming activities. Bligh resented MacArthur's influence and saw him as a rival for power. The real issues. The Rum Rebellion was more about the struggle for power and control between Bligh and the colonial elite than it was about the rum trade itself. The rebellion was fueled by a range of grievances, including land ownership. Bligh's policies favoured the allocation of land to small settlers, which threatened the interests of large landowners like MacArthur. Trade and commerce. Bligh's attempts to regulate trade and commerce were seen as an attack on the economic interests of the colonial elite. Governance. The colonists resented Bligh's autocratic style of governance and his attempts to centralize power. The rebellion as a power struggle. The Rum Rebellion was ultimately a power struggle between Bligh and the colonial elite, with the rum trade serving as a convenient pretext. The rebellion was a manifestation of the deeper tensions and conflicts within the colony, and it marked a significant turning point in Australian history. Thanks for watching. Please share, rate and subscribe.